So hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, if it's your first time here, my name's Andrew and today I'm out with my new Mini 5 Pro and I'm going to be showing you my top 10 drone moves. Now all of the drone moves can be completed with any drone, whether or not you're using something like the DJI Neo or the Mini 5 Pro or the Hover X1 Pro or Pro Max. It doesn't really matter. The only difference is you're going to get some features such as waypoints on the Mini 4 Pro and the Mini 5 Pro that you're not going to get on other drones like the Neo and the Hover X1 Pro and Pro Max. Now there are a few things you need to bear in mind when you fly in the drone with doing the manoeuvres, and the first one is to make sure that you've got enough space for the drone to complete the manoeuvre. Now you may have a drone which has got obstacle avoidance like the Mini 4 Pro or the Mini 5 Pro, but if you don't, just be aware of your surroundings. Obviously the second one is to do the local bylaws for the visual line of sight and the height limit of 120 meters or whatever you are. Third one is to make sure you've got enough battery life, because the last thing you want to do is send the drone out and then realize it's going to come back halfway through and you haven't got your shot. And the last one is to lock the exposure. There's been a few times when I've been out flying, I've forgotten to press the C2 button, I've gone home, looked at the footage and seen the exposure changed, which has ruined the shot for me. The first thing I'm going to ask is if you could do the subscribe thing, that would be great, help me get over the 1,000 subscribers. And now I'm going to crack on with the first drone move. So the first move I'm going to make is going to be the dolly push forward or push back. And I have myself as a subject and then the drone is going to move away from me to bring into shot the wider environment. And this is a nice establishing shot to show the viewer exactly where you are and to set the scene. Now you can do this just with the drone flying away from you flat, but if you do a rise to it, that's going to give you a more dramatic effect. Using waypoints will give you more versatility, because it means you haven't got to stand in the shot just using the controller to fly the drone. You can set up the 2 points, let the drone do its thing while you are busy doing something else, which is going to be the main subject of your recording. Now another nice shot is a basic reveal. And with this, the drone is going to be flying either backwards or forwards with the gimbal facing down. And as it progresses, you're going to slowly raise the gimbal up and that's going to show off the scenery around you. And again, that is a nice establishing shot. So now in this move, I've got the drone above the river with the gimbal facing down. I'm going to move it forward slowly in cine, and then I'm going to lock it on cruise control. And as it's moving forward, I'm going to start tilting the gimbal up. And that's going to give me a nice reveal shot of the river. So the next shot is just going to be a classic top-down shot, but I'm going to add a twist and I'm going to use waypoints. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fly it out to the shoreline and set my first waypoint. I'm going to rise it up about 20 meters and set the second waypoint, and obviously the gimbal is going to be facing down. I'm going to fly it up to 100 meters. There I'm going to set my third waypoint, but I'm going to rotate the drone round by 180 degrees. And then for my final waypoint, I'm just going to take it up to the maximum of 120. So what the drone should do is rise up, and then when it reaches that second waypoint, it's going to start the rotation, which it'll complete by the time it reaches the third waypoint at 100 meters, and then do the last 20 meters filming straight down. So it's going to go up, rotate, and then carry on going up. And now I'm just going to do a favourite of a speed reveal. So the drone is going to be quite low to the ground, so that's going to give it a sense of urgency, even though it's only in the normal mode. And then as I come close to the edge of the dunes, I'm going to raise it up to the maximum altitude I can. And this is the result. Okay, so I've changed my location and I'm going to do an ascending reveal. So what I've done with this one is I've flown the drone quite close to the bushes, and then I put it on to the 2x zoom, so it looks like I'm closer to the bushes than I actually am, and that was just for safety reasons. Then I'm going to slowly rise the drone up, but as the drone's ascending, I'm going to press the C1 button and switch it into cruise control. So that's going to give me a much smoother ascent. So I'm starting the drone low, but you can see as the drone starts to ascend, you're going to get a sense of anticipation about what it's actually going to reveal. And you can do this for whatever location you're in, as long as you've got something in the foreground and you want to reveal whatever it is in the background. Now the next move is going to be the side slide, which is not easy to say. And that's basically having the drone move from the left to the right, or vice versa. Now if you've got something in the foreground, like I have here with the bushes, it does create a nice parallax effect. And it's even better if you use a 2x zoom, because this means that the foreground and the background are going to move at different speeds, and that's going to add depth to your shot. And this is the part where I say I'm not sponsored, so if you could do the like and subscribe thing, get me over 1,000 subscribers, and maybe then I can go somewhere nice to film rather than a disused chemical plant which was knocked down in the 1980s. Normally when you're doing a crane shot, you just press forward on the left stick and the drone will ascend and you're filming whatever's in front of it. But for me, I'm down at an old abandoned power station and I wanted to film one of the massive towers that was here. And the tower itself has a lot of vertical lines. Now, because of the lines, trying to keep that drone steady is going to be quite difficult. So I decided to use waypoints. So I put the drone at the bottom with the gimbal facing towards the top of the tower and locked in the first waypoint, and then ascended the drone as high as it can go. And then once it reached that maximum ceiling of 120 meters, I had the gimbal pointing downwards towards the top of the chimney, and then I've locked in the second waypoint. And as you can see from the screen record, the drone kept those lines perfectly centered, and that is something I wouldn't be able to do if I was trying to fly the drone manually. It always would have drifted slightly off to the left or the right. Now the next two moves can be done manually, but from my experience, if you've got short dumpy fingers like me, it's better to use the quick shot modes. And that's going to be circle and helix. And using the quick shot modes for both of these means that you're going to get smoother, consistent footage, and also your subject's going to be centered within the frame. So you're not going to get the drone drifting off or the gimbal movement not quite right, because the drone is taking care of everything for you. So when it comes to circle, you've got two ways of doing this. You can either use the point of interest, where you draw a square around the subject and then use the directional arrows to tell the drone which way to go. And the further up the arrows, the faster the drone will move in that direction. Now the helix is very similar to the circle in respect of the fact that you draw a square around your subject. You then put in the distance that you want the drone to travel away from that subject, and then the drone will move away in an expanding circle as it rises. So you tight in on the subject at the start, and then it brings in the wider environment into your shot. And again, this can be good as an establishing shot. Now the new feature you got on the Mini 5 Pro is the rotational gimbal. And this allows the gimbal to rotate up to 225 degrees. Now this can produce some quite unique shots, but I would use it sparingly. Now I find this works well if you travel it in a linear direction, either towards or away from the subject, and it's just having it rotate. But I find it can be overwhelming if you've got too many things going on at the same time. So for example, if you're traveling forward as you're ascending, the gimbal looking down and turning, it can be quite disorientating. So I would only use the rotational gimbal sparingly, and only really when you know you're going to get a good shot. Other than that, it's just going to make the user feel sick. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Let me know which drone movements you use the most, and if you've got any questions in relation to using the DJI Neo, the Mini 4 Pro, the Mini 5 Pro, or the Hover X1 Pro or Pro Max, also let me know in the comments below. If you found it useful, please do the like and subscribe thing. As I said, I'm trying to get over the 1,000 subscriber mark. And any other questions, just let me know below. Okay, and I'll catch you again next time. Thanks very much. Bye.